Well, welcome to Templates for Change, Journeys of the Spirit series. And this presentation is about Dylan Thomas's poem In October. And this imagines a 30th birthday walk that Dylan undertook, inspired by his time in Laugharne. Now, he lived in several places in Laugharne, but the most famous is the Boathouse, which you can see in the centre of this picture. And also to the left is a small shed, which in fact was a garage, which was used by Dylan for working and writing. And this birthday walk will be spoken in Dylan Thomas's own words, and this is a brief introduction by me, John Edge, just as the presentation. Now here is the inside of the boathouse where Dylan lived with his Irish wife Kathleen, and this is the sitting room where they would have spent time, and it gives you an idea of what life might have been like for them when they lived there. The boathouse is now a small museum, although the sitting room is kept in the way it would have been, but you can visit other parts of the house and have a cup of tea there and get a whole sense of the boathouse in Dylan's time. And here again you can see the garage where Dylan wrote, and the table and chair again presented very well, very much in the nature and way that it was in Dylan's time. In fact, here's a little insert on this picture where you can see Dylan actually at the table and at the very same window. So this is the garage where Dylan worked and where he wrote a lot of poetry when in Laugharne. Now, as I said, this magical poem imagines a birthday walk taken by Dylan on his 30th birthday, and that would have dated it to the 27th of October 1944. Now I say imagined because in fact Dylan left Laugharne and on that date was living in Newquay in Ceredigion, and so he wouldn't have been there on that date. But clearly this magical poem brings together all his feelings and senses about Laugharne, the place, the people, as well as his life. And in this poem he connects not only to the place and the natural worlds, but to the sun and the trees and his childhood and his mother. And so it's a very special kind of personal spiritual journey that he took in his mind, bringing together all these senses and feelings and connected him to his 30th birthday. Now for us again, this can also help us in our own spiritual journey, our own walks, as we see how all these different facets of our life can be brought together as we go somewhere, as we take a walk, as it connects us to senses and feelings, etc. So, okay, well, now on to the poem itself, and this is spoken by Dylan, reading his own poetry, and photographs have been put to the poetry, taken around Laugharne, which I hope will bring some of the things that he's talking about more closely to life for people who haven't had the good fortune to going there. Okay, so now over to Dylan.
It was my 30th year to heaven, woke to my hearing from harbour and neighbourwood, and the mussel pooled and the heron priested shore. The morning beckon with water praying and call of seagull and rook, and the knock of sailing boats on the net-webbed wall. Myself to set foot that second in the still sleeping town and set forth. My birthday began with the water birds, and the birds of the winged trees flying my name above the farms and the white horses. And I rose in rainy autumn and walked abroad in a shower of all my days. High tide and the heron died when I took the road over the border, and the gates of the town closed as the town awoke. A springful of larks in a rolling cloud, and the roadside bushes brimming with whistling blackbirds, and the sun of October summery on the hill's shoulder. Here were fond climates and sweet singers suddenly come in the morning, where I wandered and listened to the rain-ringing wind blow cold in the wood far away under me. Pale rain over the dwindling harbor, and over the sea-wet church the size of a snail with its horns full mist, and the castle brown as owls. But all the gardens of spring and summer were blooming in the tall tales beyond the border and under the lark-full cloud. There would I marvel my birthday away, but the weather turned around. It turned away from the blithe country, and down the other air and the blue-altered sky streamed again a wonder of summer with apples, pears, and red currants. And I saw in the turning so clearly a child's forgotten mornings when he walked with his mother through the parables of sunlight and the legends of the green chapels and the twice-told fields of infancy, that his tears burned my cheeks and his heart moved in mine. These were the woods, the river and sea, where a boy, in the listening summertime of the dead, whispered the truth of his joy to the trees and the stones and the fish in the tide. And the mystery sang alive, still in the water and singing birds. And there could I marvel my birthday away, but the weather turned around, and the true joy of the long-dead child sang burning in the sun. It was my 30th year to heaven, stood there then in the summer noon, where the town below lay leaved with October blood. Oh, may my heart's truth still be sung on this high hill in a year's turning.